This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so far we discussed about that various tools. So what are the tools which we discussed so far? So first we discussed about that Linux commands, right? Then shell scripting, then Git and GitHub. So Git and GitHub it will come under like source code management, right? Then we discussed about that Maven. So Maven is a build tool, right? Then Tomcat. So this is a application server. Then SonarQube, source code management tool. Source code management tool. Then Nexus, Artifactory repository manager. Then Jenkins, it's a continuous integration tool. So these are the tools so far we discussed it, right? So today we are going to start that Ansible. What is the Ansible? Anybody idea? What is the Ansible? So Suresh is saying configuration management tool. So Ansible is a configuration management. Ansible is an open source configuration management tool which is provided by Red Hat, which is provided by the Red Hat. So now this Red Hat company is acquired by whom? IBM. So this Red Hat is a Red Hat company acquired by the IBM, right? So what do you mean by configuration management? Okay, what do you mean by okay? Ansible is a configuration management tool. What do you mean by configuration management? So configuration management is nothing but it's a set of tasks which are going to perform in the target servers, right? So it's installing a software, creating the users, right? Uninstalling the softwares, right? So these things we are going to call as configuration management, right? So you have hundreds of servers, right? So those servers, those servers, you want to install a software or update a software. If you don't know Ansible, what we are going to do? We are going to log in into those servers and we are going to update those softwares, right? But if you know Ansible, we can automate that one. So that's why, so whoever working as a Linux administrators, Ansible is very relevant tool for them. Okay, so that's why many people they are asking with me, sir, are you teaching Ansible? The Linux administrators, they want only Ansible. Yes, we are teaching. Okay, So some guys are learning only the Ansible also. It is very relevant to that Linux administrators, right? See, Ansible is an open source configuration management and deployment tool. We'll discuss later. Maintained by the Red Hat. So the main components of Ansible are playbooks, configuration management, deployment. We'll see what is this playbooks and all. Ansible uses a playbook to deploy, manage, build, and test configuration. Anything full server environments, component, component source code applications. Ansible as written in the Python. See, so far, whatever the tools which we discussed, like Maven, Tomcat, SonarQube, Nexus, Jenkins. So whatever I have highlighted, these tools are developed on which language, guys? Java. What about this Git and GitHub? This Git. What about this Git? C language. See, if you go and check it in my GitHub intro questions, this question also it is there. Okay. So Ansible is developed using the Python. So if you want to install the Python, this Ansible software, so what we have to do? We have to install the Python first. Okay. So configuration can be any task which we can perform on the servers. Servers are we can call as host machines. We can call as hosts also. It can be installing, uninstalling, updating a software, copying the files, changing the permissions, right? Stop, start, restart the servers, right? Creating and deleting the users. So these are the configuration management, right? So we have various configuration management tasks are there. Ansible, Chef, Puppet, Salt Stack, right? So apart from Ansible, we have Ansible is there, Chef, Puppet, Salt Stack. So like many configuration management tools are there. Many configuration management tools are there. So why we are learning Ansible? Why not Chef? Why not Puppet? We'll discuss. Okay, so many people are using this Ansible. Okay, so why we are using Git and GitHub? It's a popular. Many people are using. It's a open source, right? You don't want to pay the money. Here, Ansible is a open source. Okay, and it is provided by the Red Hat. So what are the features we'll get if you use this Ansible or Chef and Puppet? So sometimes they are going to ask the question like this one: difference between Ansible and Chef. Difference between Ansible and Puppet. Okay, so this is the assume Ansible server. Okay, host machine 1. This is a host machine 2. This is the host machine 3. This is the host machine 4. So like this, 4 host machines are there. 4 host machines are there. So we can connect to these the host machines from the Ansible server. We can do that configuration management. Configuration management installing a software, uninstalling a software, right? So like this, hundreds of servers will be there, guys, in the real time. Okay. So 2 days back, with one of our students, they asked this question. So in your organization, how many Jenkins servers are there? Can you tell me one number? How many Jenkins servers? Oh, good. At least you guys are giving that appropriate number, correct? You know what he told? 40 servers are there. Then he didn't see. He completed 2 technical rounds. They asked in the managerial round this one. So he didn't believe that one. So he rejected. See, technically he's good. He completed 2 technical rounds, but in the managerial round, they asked this question, manager. See, in the managerial round, they are not going to ask much technical questions. They are going to ask how you did the process and all. See, at least if you say, okay, so 40 nodes are there, then we can believe that 40 nodes also, it's very high only, but sometimes maybe possible. But 40 Jenkins servers, we are not going to, 4 or 5 or 6 maximum. So just tell him in that one also, only 2 Jenkins servers I'm using. Other team members are using other Jenkins servers. But nodes, it may be possible. Okay. So servers, how many Linux servers you are managing? You are managing means you are using. Just tell him. I think 20, 20 plus something like that. Linux servers maybe it is possible. Why? Because for installing SonarQube server is different, Jenkins is different. So like that we are going to use. So Surya Kumar is asking. So first time he is asking this question. First time I am seeing his name, Surya Kumar. Okay. How will come to know about entire organization that how many servers are there? See, entire organization it is not possible if it is a big organization. If it is a see many guys what they are going to do they are going to keep some small companies only, right? They don't have experience. So if it is a small organization easily we know, right, how many. But it is a very big organization like IBM, TCS and all, it is not possible. So at that time you know, right, at least in your business unit many business units are there, right? Definitely we are going to work in one of the business unit, right, in that company, in that organization, in that business unit, how many servers you are using. So guys, business units are we can call as departments. Okay, in the department how many servers you are using, you know, at least, right? SC Mohan says saying that yes, in KT they will tell, correct. So when you join in a new organization, definitely they are going, KT means knowledge transformation. So they are not going to give the technical knowledge transformation, the process, how they are following, what servers they are using, in which location those servers are there, those things they are going to do. Santosh is asking, sir, connecting to server, installing software, etc. We can also do via through shell script. Na? What is the advantage of Ansible? Good. See, it is very difficult. Suppose you have 500 servers are there. So one of our student, he was working as a Linux admin. I asked with him, how many servers you are managing? You means his team, whole team. He's saying that 500 servers. Now I have a one task. I want to install one software or I need to update all the packages in all the 500 servers. How much time it will take to update that particular package or for installing a software? It may take some months, but if you know Ansible, it's a fraction of minutes or hours maximum. So all these 500 servers, or we can call it host machines. hosts we are going to call. These host machines information we are going to configure in the Ansible server. So in the Ansible server, we are going to write one playbook. Okay, playbook is nothing but it's a one piece of code we are going to write. Just if you run that playbook in the Ansible server, whatever that configuration management we required, those things it is going to perform in all the host machines. Right? You don't want to connect to the manually to these servers. Right? We are automating instead of manually connecting to those 500 servers. Ansible server will connect and it is going to perform whatever the task we want. So that's why Linux administrators, this Ansible is the very relevant tool, right? They should know if you are working as a Linux admin. Still, if you want to continue as a Linux administrator, you should know that Ansible. You should know the Ansible. Clear? So here, Ansible server will connect to these host machines through SSH connection type. SSH, right? So guys, most of the time this Ansible server software which we are going to install in the Linux servers. Okay, this Ansible software we are going to install in Linux servers. So these host machines, it may be a Linux server, it may be a Linux server or Windows operating system, it may be a Mac also, right? So any operating system fine, it not be a, only the Linux server, but Ansible server, this Ansible software which we are going to install in only the Linux server. We can install in Windows also, but it is very difficult. But in the organization, we are going to install in Linux servers only. So Mahesh is asking, means sir, at most we can have Ansible server 1 or 2, but most of the time we are having Ansible is only one server. Okay, in Ansible used for DevOps purpose or only in Linux admin. See, we should know that all these things, not only the Linux administrators, we are also going to use. See, not only for installing a software, right? Uninstalling a software. We want to do, we need to create some users and all, right? Suppose we need to install some DevOps related softwares. We are going to install it. Yes or no? So that time also we are going to install this Ansible server, Ansible software. So Dimple is asking 20 Linux servers, 2 Jenkins, 4 to 5 nodes, right, sir? That is also a relevant number. You can say that one also not a problem. Okay. So now we'll discuss about the difference between Ansible server and Chef. See, Ansible server, it is going to work agentless. Means in the host machines, you don't want to install any agents. What do you mean by agent? Agent is nothing, it's a piece of software which we use to connect to that configuration management server. If you are going to use Ansible server, you don't want to install any extra softwares in the host machines to connect to the server. You don't want to install. Whereas if you install, if you want to use that chef in all these host machines, you have to install a agent. So agent is nothing but it's a piece of software. So first you have to install in all the host machines that agent. Suppose if you have 500 servers, first you have to connect to that server and you have to install that agent. Okay, sir, we can install it now. What is the problem? Installing agent in all the host machines. With the help of this agent only, it is going to communicate with the chef server. From this host machine, if you want to connect to the chef server, first you should install that agent here. What is the problem if you install this agent? See, some banking applications, suppose assume in this server we have installed that or we deployed that banking related application. So they are not allowing us to install any third party softwares. Third party software means some softwares. Okay. So like a Maven. Maven is a third party software. Tomcat. So these are the third party softwares. They are not going to allow us to install. Then that time, is it possible to use this? No, it is not possible. Same Puppet also. So Ansible is a, so if you use that Ansible, you don't want to install any third party softwares in the these host machines. So Ansible is a push based architecture. Ansible is a push based architecture. Means in this Ansible server, suppose you want to install a software. Suppose I want to install the Java in all the servers. In the playbook, we are going to write how to install Java. So just if you run this playbook is going to execute in all these host machines. Whatever the host machines we have, we are going to configure. Right. So it is a push-based architecture. But Chef or Puppet, so these are the pull-based architecture. Means so these agents are keep on checking that is there any configurations are there in this Chef server or Puppet server. So it is going to get those configurations and it is going to execute in these host machines. So it is a pull-based architecture. So if any changes are there, immediately these agents are going to get it and it is going to install it. Right? We don't have control. But if it is a Ansible, it is a push-based architecture. When we are going to execute this playbook, that time it is going to perform this task in the here. Right? So that is the main difference between Ansible and Chef, Ansible and Puppet. See here, Ansible configuration machines in an agentless manner using the SSH connection type. So if both host machine and Ansible server, if both are Linux servers, then the connection type will be SSH. If it is a Linux, if it is a Linux, suppose your host machine is Linux, the connection type will be SSH. Suppose your host machine is so the connection type will be WinRM. The connection type will be WinRM. So in one of the interview, they asked this question. Okay. So if you want to connect to that Windows operating system servers from your Ansible server, what is the connection type? WinRM. If it is a Linux server, SSH connection type. Okay, built on top of Python, hence provides a lot of Python functionality. See, Python having many inbuilt functions are there. It, all these inbuilt functions you can use in the Ansible, because Ansible is developed using the Python and AML based playbooks. So we'll discuss what is this AML. Okay, it's a very simple, easily we can able to understand, human understandable format we can write in the AML. All these playbooks are going to use this AML formats only. Uses SSH for secure connections. Follows push based architecture for sending the configurations. So it is going to use that push based architecture. Without agents, it is going to work. So difference between push based and pull based. Tools like Puppet and Chef are the pull based. Agents on the servers periodically checks for the configuration information from the central server. So if it is a pull based, whatever the agents which we install here, right? So these agents, it is going to continuously check that is there any configurations are there in the server. If any configurations are there, immediately it is going to pull and it is going to install. Right. So Southern is asking, in case of Mac OS, what is the connection type? So far I didn't use it, madam. Maybe I will check. So just remind me after the session after 9 o'clock. Maybe I will check that one. So far I was using this Linux and Windows is the my host machines. Okay, I didn't use it this Mac. Okay, maybe I will check it. So Chandrasekhar is asking, it's a server configuration only or for dev machine? See, these configuration management you can implement for any of the server. Okay, any of the server. Okay, so Ansible is a push based. Central server pushes the configuration information to the target servers. You can control when the changes are made on the servers. Yes, it is very easy to write. We can control. So Surya Kumar, I don't know who is this. You are a new person. First time you are asking these many questions, and I didn't see you. Okay, then a man, keep your name. That's why. See, I know all the student names. So keep your name. I know if anybody new guys are joining, he's like unable to identify. Okay. He's asking that Suresh is asking that Ansible is developed by Ansible is developed in Python, but why we are using this AML for playbooks instead of Python? See, in the if you use that Python for writing this playbooks, if you want to run that Python program in these host machines, what we need to install first? We need to install Python. So it is very difficult, right? Again, installing Python in all the host machines. Yes or no? So you don't want to install any third party software in the host machines if you are going to use the Ansible. So if you use that playbooks, if you write in the YAML format, this YAML format, it is a data representation. It can be any host machines can able to understand. So that's why we are writing these playbooks in the YAML format. Got it, Suresh? Guys, you guys know, right? Got it, his question, right? His question is why we are writing that Ansible playbooks in the YAML format. Why not in the Python? So if you write in the Python, we have to install this Python software in all the host machines, because that Python program, if you want to run, first Python software has to be installed. Got it? Okay. Yes. Python. See, not only the Python system, Suresh, any system can able to understand this YAML. Okay. So now we'll discuss about that Ansible architecture. So already we mentioned in the Ansible, the key components are playbooks, configuration management, right? Host inventory. We'll see. If you see here, this Ansible software can be installed in any of the cloud servers, whether it is a public cloud or private cloud. Public cloud means anybody can able to access. See, in our servers, like suppose if you take, I have created one server, right? If it is a public cloud, anybody can able to connect. See, right now, whatever the servers which we are using, those are created in the public cloud. Anybody can able to access, right? You also can able to access. I'm also can able to access it. But some private clouds are there. Within that organization only, we can able to access it. Within that organization network, we can able to access it. Okay. So we'll discuss in the AWS what is this public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. All these things we are going to discuss in the when we are going to start the AWS. So once this Ansible resume preparation is over, then we are going to start the AWS. Okay. So this Ansible can be installed in public cloud, private cloud, and also you can install in where on-premises servers also. Okay. So once if you install, you will see that one very important component called as the host inventory file. So once if you install Ansible software, if you go and see in the etc directory /etc Ansible host, this is the file we can see. So this file we can call as a host inventory. So this host inventory we can call as static host inventory. So we have two types of inventories. One is the static host inventory, dynamic host inventory. So what do you mean by inventory? It's keep track of. So here we are calling host inventory, means this host inventory contains that whatever the host machines which we are going to connect to these host machines from the Ansible server. So all these host machines IP address or domain name we are going to keep in this host inventory file. So we are calling it host static host inventory. Static means it's a manually we are going to update those host inventory details. Dynamic means dynamically we are going to get that all the host machines to which host machines we need to connect it. Suppose, see here, AWS is there. Here we created n number of servers. We need to get that all the servers which are in running state. So that time we are going to use that host inventory. So we'll this dynamic host inventory. We'll discuss. This is the last topic in our Ansible topic. It is very important topic also. Dynamic host inventory means dynamic means at a runtime we are going to get that host details. Static means it's a fixed. Okay, so and we are going to update those host information in the host file. So this is a default file which can contain that all the host machines IP addresses or domain names. So to which server you want to connect, that server IP address or domain name you have to configure in the host inventory file. So this is the default host inventory file. Many times they ask this question. What is the default path for host inventory file? /etc/ansible. There you will see that host. This is the file name. This is the file name. Okay. So this host inventory, it may be a static host inventory or dynamic host inventory. Right. So it contains that all the these host machines IP addresses or domain names. Next one is the playbooks. See, in these host machines, if you want to install a software, if you want to create a user, that logic we are going to write in the playbooks. So these playbooks are going to create in the form of which format? AML format. AML. Right. So that the playbooks, suppose I want to install a Java software. Install java.yaml. So that extension should be YAML or YML. Either one is fine. YAML or YML. Right? So we are going to write the playbooks. Some core modules will be there. So in Ansible, we are going to use that many core modules. Suppose you want to ping all the servers. So we have one module called as a ping module. Okay. So you want to execute some commands in the server, in this host machines. We are going to use that shell module. See, from this Ansible server, I want to copy one file in all these host machines. I want to copy one file. So for that one, we are going to use the copy module. So I want to create some files in here. I'm going to use that file module. So like this, many core modules are there. After installing this Ansible software, we are going to see all these core modules. I will show you how to see how many modules are there. What are the core modules are there? We are going to execute one command. Right? So apart from these core modules, we can develop our own custom modules also. Can develop our own custom modules. See, some modules are there. Those modules, it is not going to meet with our requirement. So that time what we are going to do? We are going to write our own custom modules. We are going to write our own custom modules. So if you want to write the custom modules, what you have to do? You should know that which one, which language you should know, which scripting you should know. Python. Thank you, Arun. You should know the Python. Why? Because Ansible is developed using the Python. So if you want to write your custom modules, you should know the Python. Without knowing the Python, you are not able to write. but very rarely we are going to get this kind of requirement. So far from last 5 years, two of our students, they called me, sir, I got a one requirement. I want to write custom modules. So I want to learn the Python. When the Python batch is going to start? Recently, 20 days back, one guy called me about same requirement. Okay, so if you want to write the custom modules, you should know the Python. Now you guys know, right? When we need to learn the Python. So some of the AWS services like Lambda, right? Boto 3, some services are there. If you want to use those services, you should know the Python, right? Without Python, you are not able to perform. So Python is not a mandatory, but if you know, it is good to have. Okay. So if you have time, later you guys can learn this Python also. So you guys can learn Python core. Okay. See, Python full stack is there. Python full stack means Python core plus Django framework plus database. They are going to teach. So we don't want to learn all these things, Django, database and all. Just if you know Python core, that is more enough. So Gopal is asking, sir, before this configuration management tools, how these tasks were performing manually? Manually, we are performing. See, hundreds of servers we were managing manually. We are connecting manually to these servers. We are performing. We are installing a software, uninstalling a software, updating a software. But still some guys are doing the same thing. But you guys can suggest, hey man, you can learn any one of the configuration management tool so that it's very easy to manage your host machines. So Sangamesh is asking, can you take Python in evening batch? Yes, we'll plan. I'm not going to take. Other trainer is going to take. Initially, when I was starting DevOps, I was giving the Python batches also, but I'm very busy. So other trainer is going to give. Okay. Some plugins are there. We are going to use those plugins also. We'll discuss. Okay. Like EC2 plugin. So if you want to create a EC2 instance, okay, we can use this plugins. We'll discuss when we are using this dynamic inventory. So that time we are going to some plugins also. EC2 plugin. Right. So Ansible is providing some core modules and plugins. So custom modules we are going to write. So here connection plugins. So what type of connections which we are going to use mostly? That SSH and WinRM. So this custom modules, see, as a DevOps engineer, we are going to write. Linux admin also, they are going to write it, right? See, he want to perform one particular configuration management. None of the core what he has to do, he has to write that custom module. Okay, so that time we should know the Python. Clear, guys, about this Ansible architecture? Anybody have any questions? So mainly this host inventory plugins. Mainly we are going to deal. Okay, so our major role is as a DevOps engineer, we are going to write that playbooks. So many times they are going to ask, can you write one sample playbook which you have written? They are going to see that at least the syntax, how you are going to write it. And also they are going to ask that, guys, Jenkins file also. Jenkins file, Docker file, this is a playbook. These are the three mandatory. You guys should know the syntaxes and all, how you are going to write it. Okay. So the inventory file, Ansible inventory host file is used to list and group your servers. Its a default location is /etc/ansible host. Okay. So now we'll discuss about that installation. Later we'll see this host inventory file. So after installing Ansible server and easily can able to go through this host inventory file. Now even if you discuss also you are not able to understand. Once we install this Ansible server, then it is going to create this host file. Then we'll see. Okay. So if you want to install this Ansible server, minimum, okay, 3 servers. One is this Ansible server and host machine 1 and host machine 2. Host machine 2. So this host machine 1 and host machine 2 details where we are going to configure, guys, in which file? Come on, guys. Host inventory file, which is available in the Jasprit, not in the AML. Okay, AML file we are going to write the playbooks. This host inventory details, this host machine's IP addresses we are going to configure in the Ansible server. There we have one file called as host, which is available in the etc directory. There you will see that Ansible, right? Ansible. In this file we are going to configure this. So we can create these 2 host machines and 1 Ansible. So total 3 servers you can create it. So these 3 servers just 1 GB RAM also fine. Okay. So Jenkins is over. So what I did, I have deleted all the servers because they are not allowing us to create multiple servers nowadays. That CPU issue we are getting. Many of our students also they got. I told them whatever the servers which you are not using, just terminate those servers. Right, Madam Kaveri, other 2 more people they ping me. So now I'm going to create that 3 servers. Okay. So select Red Hat. Is it possible to create 3 servers at a time? So Vijay Kumar is asking, can we use earlier servers as a host machines? Yes, it is possible. Suppose Vijay, see, you are using Nexus, you are using SonarCube, you are using Tomcat. Those 3 servers you can use as a host machines. Right. In the Jenkins server, you can install Ansible server. If you want, you can reuse those servers also if you want. Okay. That is up to you. Next. So here if you see that number of instances. So I'm going to select that 3. Okay. Click on next, next, launch, launch, and select this one. Click on launch. So now it is going to create that 3 instances. Click on view instances and give the names. So I'm going to give for one server Ansible server. For another server, I'm going to give that host machine 1. Host host machine 1. Host machine 2. So these 3 servers I have created. Right. So for installing Ansible server, I have created one blog. Just if you go and click on this Ansible label, it will take you to one URL. See here, install Ansible in AWS EC2 instances. Create 3 Red Hat servers. One is the Ansible server, 2 host machines. Just for demo. In the real time, the host machines may be n number of. Okay. So whatever the configurations which we are going to do one host machine, same configurations we are going to follow for other host machines also. Okay, it's same. So login as a root user and create Ansible user in provided sudo access in all the servers. So now what we are going to do? We are going to connect to that these 3 machines, whatever we have created. We are going to create that Ansible user. Let me open that putty terminal. So go to the folder where your PEM files are there. So I will connect to this Ansible server first. Connect. Click on SSH client. Copy this command. Execute it. Type yes. Hit the enter. It has connected. Switch to the root user. Create user called as Ansible. See here. Just read this log. Login as a root user and create Ansible user and provide the sudo access. Provide the sudo access. So Kaveri is asking, sir, after completion of Jenkins, we can delete unnecessary servers, right? There is no problem. Yes, that is what I did, madam. I have deleted all the servers except Jenkins. So if any questions are there in Jenkins, so people are going to ask, right, to perform those things, I'm using this Jenkins. That's all. That's why I'm keeping this Jenkins. Otherwise, I could remove this one also, Jenkins. Okay. So I'm going to, so I have created one user and provide the sudo access. You don't want to set the password. So if you want to provide the sudo access, we'll execute that vsudo. Hit the enter. Just scroll down. See guys, not only here, you can keep at the end also. Just type I, it will come insert mode. So this is the Ansible user. Then copy this one. All is equal to all. No password all. This one means you don't want to use the password to switch it to the other user and all. Okay, so that's why we are using. Did you remember when we are switching from EC2 user to the root user, sudo space su space hyphen, is it asking the password? No, because of this one. Okay, save it, guys. You can add this entry here or you can add here also, right? Save it. So what we did, we have created one Ansible user and we provided sudo access in Ansible server. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect to that host machine 1 and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to open another terminal, go to the EC2 PEM files directory where your PEM files are there, then connect to that server, create a user add, username is Ansible, then provide the sudo access. Okay, ansible and save it. Okay, so this is the server one, means host machine one. Same way we are going to do the host machine 2. I'm going to open another terminal. Hmm. User add ansible. Then I'm going to, so yes, Bobby is asking why we are creating users in host machine. I will tell you, it is not a mandatory step. So, but first, when you are a beginner, follow creating EC2 user. So you can use that EC2 user also. It is already there now, one user. That user also you can use it. But we'll discuss later why we created. Without creating users also it is possible. Yes, it is possible. So first, you guys don't know anything, right? So for basics, when you are learning basics, follow these things. Okay, it is not a mandatory to create that users in these machines. So in this server 192 server, I have, so this 192 I am going to consider as a Ansible server, right? So 192 I am going to consider as Ansible server, 193 and 134. These two servers I am going to consider as a host machines. So this step 2 is over. Create 3 servers is over. Login as a root user and create Ansible user in provide the sudo access. It is over, right? Make necessary changes in SSHD config file. See, we are going to connect to the server, right? We are going to connect to these servers. Which servers? These servers. So that time you should know that we have to enable the password authentication, right? Without password authentication, we are not able to connect, right? So that's why, see, make the necessary changes in SSHD underscore config file. So enable the password authentication in all these 3 servers. Okay, in all these 3 servers you can enable. Just execute this command, search with password authentication. Here just no is there, just change that no to yes. Yes, and restart the service. Many times people are going to do the mistake is here, they are going to forget that one. It's restarted. So in 192 server is finished. 193 will go, will execute this command, search with password authentication. Just you can come here, just change that no to yes and save it and restart the service. Okay, same way in this 134 service also you can do it. Restart the service name, restart. So the step 2 is over, right? Sir, I am getting bill. Yes, you will get the bill. Okay, don't worry. So did I cover that how to work with the AWS support team to waive up the bill zero? No? Okay. Maybe I will cover next session. Okay. So guys, what we did, we created 3 servers. We logged in as a root user in all these servers. We created the Ansible user. We gave the sudo access and we enable the password authentication. Right. Install the Ansible in Red Hat server. Okay. So this is the server which we are going to use for installing the Ansible software 192. So if you want, you can cross check it. Okay. So this Ansible server, see this 192 server which we are going to use as a Ansible server. So now go to that 192 server, install that Ansible server. So for that one, so first SSH to Red Hat, switch to the Ansible user. Okay. So already we connected to the server. Just we are going to switch to the Ansible user. We switched it. Then install this Python software, because without Python software we are not able to install that Ansible, right? Because Ansible software is developed using the Python. Ansible. So if you want to install Ansible, the Python is the prerequisite software. You have to install it. Okay, it is installed. So here Python 3 means version 3. Okay, so if you go and check it whether Python is installed or not, this is the command which we are going to use, Python hyphen version. We'll get a error. Okay, but if you use that Python 3, it will work. So Python 3 hyphen version. See, it is giving that Python 3.6.8. This is the version, but it is very bad, right? So every time Python 3, Python 3. Instead of Python 3, I want to use Python, simply Python, and we need to execute all the commands with Python, right? So for that one, I'm going to do this one. Update Python alternatives. See what I'm doing? Set Python 3. So just I'm going to make the alias name. So now if you go and execute this Python 3, Python hyphen version, see it is working. Earlier, is it working? We are getting this error. So after that, we updated. Okay. So here 3 is a version, guys. So we have installed the Python. So now install this Apple release. So from this Apple release, Apple repository only, we are going to install that Ansible. So directly if we execute this one without executing this fifth step, it is not going to work. Okay. So first execute this command. It's done. Now we can install the Ansible. After installing, if you want to know which version of Ansible we use, very simple. Execute this command. Ansible version. So Python, this Ansible is installed. So if you want, you can go and check it. Ansible version. This is the command, right? See, Ansible 2.9.27. Ansible configuration file will be this one. Okay, so the default configuration file name is ansible.cfg, which is available in the /etc Ansible. Recently, in one of the interview, they asked this question also. So, what is the default configuration file for Ansible? Ansible.cfg, where it is available /etc/Ansible. Okay, then what we have to do? Generate the SSH key and copy the SSH key in from the Ansible server to all the host machines. So Sangamesh is asking, sir, can we use your blog during real-time work for installation and all? Absolutely. So many guys, they told me, sir, in my company also, many of other DevOps engineers also, they are accessing your blog, sir, our blog. He's saying our blog, many people are using, sir. Even many of other training center guys also, they're referring our blog and our YouTube channel. So one guy called me recently, sir, in my training center, I want to install a sonar keep. They referred me your video, sir. Okay. So I was facing the issue. My trainer is not able to help me. Please help me, sir. Like that, he called me. So he's from Hyderabad. Okay. Yes, it is going to open. So if it is not going to open, in the Accenture recently, 2 months back, one of our student, he called to that help desk. He created a ticket and they allow us to access this one. Yes, sometimes it is not going to. Some companies they are going to block that blocks. Yes or no? So that time you can work with the support team. They are going to allow you to access that one. Okay. Okay. So now in this Ansible server, what we are going to do? We are going to generate that SSH keys. Okay. So switch to the Ansible user. Already we switched. See, currently we are logged in as a Ansible user. Who am I? Ansible user. Just execute this SSH-keygen command. So just hit the enter button. Don't give anything. Again, it's generated. So now what we have to do? Copy the whatever that public key we have generated. Na? That one we need to copy into that all the host machines. See, for generating SSH keys, we are going to that SSH-keygen. This is the command for generating. Already we discussed it. Where we discussed this command? In which topic? GitHub. Right. We generated that SSH key in our laptop and we configured in the GitHub so that we can use that SSH URL to push the code, pull the code and all. So if it is a GitHub, we have GUI. There we can go ahead and configure this public key. Now we are going to, so we have generated that SSH key in our Ansible server. I want to configure, I want to copy that public key into that host machines. Here, do we have any GUI? No. What is the command which we are going to use? ssh-copy-id. See, ssh-copy-id. So username. So already we have created this Ansible user in all the two host machines, and so you have to give that server IP address. So host machine 1. So guys, you can take that private IP address. It is going to work. I will tell you why. See, we are trying to copy this public key from Ansible server to host machine. So all these three servers are in the same network, same VPC. Don't ask with me right now what is the VPC. Okay, so same network. If the servers are in same network, these servers can communicate with private IP address also. Don't worry about what is the VPC, what is the network and all. We'll discuss very soon in this AWS. Very important service called as VPC. So just assume right now, so these servers are in same network. With the help of this private IP address also, they can able to connect it. Okay, same way, take that host machine to private IP address, and so these two commands where we need to execute in the Ansible server. Why? To copy that public key, to copy this public key from Ansible server to host machine 1 and host machine 2, we are going to execute that ssh-copy id command in the Ansible server. Okay, so this is the Ansible server. Here we have generated. Just if you want type, you can ls-l dot ssh. See, id underscore rsa, id underscore rsa dot pub. It has created. Now I'm going to execute this command. Okay, hit the enter. Just type yes. So it is asking password. So I forgot to set the password. So you can in this server, na? So set the password for passwd Ansible user. I'm using that password. Password as a password. Okay. Same way in other server also you can set it. Passwd. Oh, here 193 server. Passwd Ansible. So now you can type that password of Ansible user. I'll set that password as a password. Now see, number of keys added 1. So it has successfully copied, means from this server I have copied to the host machine 1. So now from this server you can able to connect to this server without password. Why? Because we have enabled the password authentication and we copied this public key from Ansible server to here. Did you remember how many guys gone through this video? I don't know. If you go to that Linux playlist, and if you see this Linux videos, I asked you, I asked you guys in the Linux sessions only. Just go through this one. Which video? Passwordless. Yes, this one. So in this video, I have explained already how to connect to the servers without password. Generate the password SSH key, public key here, and copy into here. So that is what I did here. Now, if you want to connect, see, if you execute this command, so currently 192 is the Ansible server. So if you want to connect to this host machine, just execute SSH username @ IP address. Hit the enter without asking password. If you see, it is connected or not. It is connected. Observe, right now in 193 server. So if you want to log out, just type exit. See, now we are 192 server. Same way, you can execute this command also. So this is the host machine 1. This is the host machine 2. Right? Execute this command. Say yes. Okay. Type the password. Password is the password. So now we have copied successfully. So if you connect to the server, see, we have connected to the server. Just type ls-la. Okay. ls-la. So where it is going to copy? In that SSH directory. If you observe here, authorized keys. This is the file which contains the public key. So whatever we have copied, that public key, it is going to create this file, and there it is going to copy. Clear? So now we did that basic setup. So like creating these three servers, creating these three servers, created that Ansible user in all these three servers, and we set the password, and we created that users, and we provide the sudo access, and we enable the password authentication. We generated that, install that Ansible server, right? Then we generated the SSH key in Ansible server. We copied it. Now what you are going to do? Update the host inventory in Ansible server to add the host server details. Now we have two host machines. This is the host 1, and this is the host machine 2, right? So these host machines IP addresses I am going to configure. Where we are going to configure? Already we know. VI. So you can use that sudo VI/etc Ansible host. This is the file. Okay, just hit the enter. Guys, we'll discuss later about this file. Just scroll down, type I, it will come insert mode. Here you can add it. So to which servers you want to connect? All these host machines IP addresses or host name you can keep in this particular file. So now I have added these two instances IP addresses. Save it. So now whatever the setup we did, whether it is properly we have configured or not, we need to check. I need to check the connectivity from this Ansible server to, so from this Ansible server to whether I can able to connect to these host machines or not. So for that one, we are going to execute one command, ansible -m ansible all -m ping. Means I want to check the connectivity. If you want to check the connectivity, which command we are going to use? Ping command. Here ansible is a command. All means whatever the IP addresses you have specified in host inventory file, all the servers you want to ping. Here -m means module. Ping is a one module name. Okay, so these modules, it is going to convert as a Linux command, and it is going to execute. Okay, so by default, see if you observe guys, in this particular file we have just copied this host machine's IP address. If you don't specify any connection type, it is going to take that SSH is the default connection type. Okay, anyway, these hosts are Linux servers, no problem, it is going to take. Now you can execute this command ansible all -m ping, hit the enter. Observe, if you see this message, okay, if you see this message, it's successfully connected, means connection is there. That's why see here success. So Sangamesh is asking, sir, in real time, if 100 servers are there, we need to copy all these IP addresses. Yes, we need to keep those hundreds of servers IP addresses in this particular file. So this is the default host inventory file. Is it possible to use that custom one? So suppose for Facebook application, I'm using the different servers. Can I create a one file called as Facebook? There I can keep that all the servers, Facebook's related servers IP addresses in that particular file. Yes, it is possible. You can give that custom name also. We'll discuss later. Clear, guys? Okay. Our Surya Kumar alias Suresh Kumar, he is asking that, sir, please explain that Ansible all -m ping command. So Ansible is the command. All means, so whatever the servers which you have mentioned in the host inventory file, so all the servers you can ping. Here -m is a module, ping is a one module name. Clear? Anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you guys. So we are going to see next session on Monday, right? April 4th. Yes. So tomorrow I'm giving holiday because of festival Yugadi. Okay, for Karnataka people and Andhra people, New Year, right? Karnataka and Telugu people, New Year will be there tomorrow. It is going to start. Happy Yugadi advance to all. Hmm? For Karnataka people and Andhra people. Tamil people, I think it will be 14th, na? April 14th. Oh, Maharashtra also. Good. I thought only in Karnataka and Andhra. So for Maharashtra also tomorrow, New Year is going to start. Yes. So people are celebrating January 1st. That is the new English year, right? So tomorrow Telugu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, these three peoples, New Year. Oh, super. So for these three state people, Happy New Year. Okay. Even very soon in Kerala also it will be there, na Vishu. Hmm? So each state in this India, they have their New Year, correct, na? So anybody from Tamil Nadu? For Tamil Nadu, I think April 14th, na? New Year. Okay, enjoy your 2 days time. So we are going to meet on April 4th after New Year. Okay, thank you guys. So before coming to the next class, everyone should complete this setup. Okay, and again I'm appreciating Shafiq. He's doing outstanding performance, guys. Really, I'm appreciating him. So even I'm not explaining something, but he's practicing and he's showing me that result. Sir, I finished these things. I used this one. So definitely he will get that good package also. He's doing extraordinary. After getting job also, he's able to survive and he's going to lead the team such a way like that. He is practicing apart from whatever I'm teaching. He's practicing out of our scope also. Good, but I'm not sure others also may be practicing, but he's sharing with me the result, how he's practicing, and he's checking, sir, whether I'm going in the right way or not. Really, I'm appreciating him. So I'm expecting from everyone do the same thing, guys. Hmm? Sangamesh is saying, yes, sir, he is outstanding. Sangamesh Bhaiya, you also do the same thing. Hmm? You should do. Okay, see, everyone is working. I know. Don't say that I am working professional. I don't have time. Arey Bhaiya, Bhaias, I am also working professional. I am giving that two batches training. I am helping to that many guys taking that any desk control and helping. Hmm? Don't say that I am working. That word, if you say I am working professional, don't have time means I will kill you. Okay? Thank you. Sir, why, sir, you are using that kind of words, killing and all? So, guys, that is a common word. Don't take seriously. Okay? Thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.